Prepare to be amazed.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great.
Can't go wrong with a good cup of coffee. How you doing, everybody? This is Jason, Jason's House of Fun and Video Games, bringing you today. It's time to play some games. Let's play some video games. What are we going to do in this series? Well, pretty simple. We are surrounded by things that make us think of a different time, that we had so much fun when we were younger. And I'm sure all of you out there who are tuning into this channel feel the same way about these things that I find very nostalgic and just bring me back to a different time. What are we going to be doing in this series? Well, first of all, we're jumping right off the rails because I'm not containing myself at all. The reviews. Video game reviews for me are very difficult. I have a certain thing that I want to get across. With every video, I guess I do. But with that particularly, I've been doing a review on the Addams Family for Sega Genesis for a while now. Time constraints, me not being happy with the finished product. I'm putting that on hold for now. But it will come to fruition at some point in time. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? I get it. If you've been around long enough, you get it with me. Time is never on my side, as it's probably not on yours, so I appreciate you checking out this video today. And of course, if you feel that you should, check out the rest of my videos. It's a interesting catalog with no beat to any very similar drum than the other than a few series that I have. So, what do I mean by all that? We fell off the train. It's already started. It's not even a minute and I've already done it. Well, in this series, we're going to play some video games. I don't know how long the playthroughs will be. I don't know if I'll have a lot to say during them. I'll try to be a little entertaining. Try to give you a little insight on it, but I don't want it to be a review. A review for me is something that I'm going to take an extremely long of time. Extreme long amount of time. That's what I meant to say. And this isn't that. This is me getting my thoughts out there, playing stuff that I find that is interesting that maybe you don't even know about. I know that a lot of folks that watch these videos, from the conversations that we've gotten into with I don't even know how many videos I've made at this point, surrounding video games, collecting, whatever it may be, you folks know a lot about when it comes to this world of video games. You do. I'm going to give you my opinions on it, which may be very different from yours. Your experiences might be different, or maybe you had no idea or never thought, oh, I should check out that game. That guy from the House of Fun and Video Games seems to be having fun with it. The irony of that statement alone, I get it. But, all puns intended, because this is an off-the-rails shoot. I don't care. We're going to have some fun. And what are we going to do? I thought long and hard about this. And I remember a while ago, I was like, I really want to do something like this. And then, things come up, whatever. And I think that part of the video where I revealed I got a PS5 entices me to do more with part of that video. Now, am I going to play the PlayStation 5? No, I'm not. Is it going to be the PS4? No. I'm going straight back to the first console that I ever owned. I got one, I believe, in 85 or 86. I'm not sure. I was very young at that point. I was probably 2 years old, I think, when I got it. And to this day, I still love playing these consoles. I have so much fun with them. They bring back so many memories, as we've stated before. So, in that video, I wanted to do a review on A Nightmare on Elm Street. We already got through the review part and why I'm going to put those on hold until I feel that they're at the place where I want them to be. These Let's Plays are just checking out a video and checking out a video game, rather. You're checking out the video and having some fun. You're not stressing out about how something looks or anything like that. So, the first game that we are going to put on the list of games played is A Nightmare on Elm Street for the NES. If I can, I will attempt. I think I can figure this out. And I'm saying this to you because I'm being honest. I do know how to do this. I do this during my intro videos and everything like that. I'm going to try to put up maybe a copy of the picture and the price of the game currently now according to my CLZ app. Again, I have to say this. I'm not endorsed by them. I'm not paid by them or anything like that, of course. But it's a great app, and it's an app that keeps my scatterbrained mind sometimes in check when it comes to things that I have and I don't have. Because there's been plenty of times where I've gotten things, I didn't realize I had it. I have a really good memory. But when it comes to these things sometimes, I think it has some sort of effect, I don't know what it's called, where you think something happened and in reality, it really didn't. Like, you really think it happens. Let me know in the comments if you know what that is, because I can't remember what it is. It's some sort of effect. But anyway, at any rate, why am I checking out this game? Well, very simple. I really enjoy playing this. I really thoroughly enjoy playing this. When I first began playing this, very young, I wasn't very good at it. I could get through the first couple of bosses, first forms of Freddy, whatever you want to call them, but eventually somewhere down the line, Mr. Krueger had my number, and it was game over. Now with this game, just to give you a little insight on it, if you notice right here, it says a 4-player game. With an NES that has 2 ports, how do you play 4 players? How do 4 players play this game? There's a thing called a satellite. I don't know why they use that terminology, but it gives you 4 additional inputs, which you input into one part of the NES, I assume. I've tried it once to see if it actually works. It does work. You put it into... Actually, you know what? You don't plug it in there because it's a satellite thing. Now I'm getting it. You have a signal that's put into that, kind of like a wireless signal. And the wireless signal grabs the controllers and what you're doing in it and everything like that. And 4 people can play it at once. I believe that's how it works. And if it isn't, you got to do what you got to do in the comments. I get it. But I think that's the basic gist. Now, have I ever actually done that with somebody? No. I haven't had 4 people at once that were willing to even attempt this. I tried to do it with 2 people before. It's very difficult, and there's some parts of it, I believe, that you, because of the design of the game, certain parts of the level that you can't get past. I could be wrong. I'm sure there's plenty of different ways you can search on here, or just in general, on if that was actually completed from beginning to end. It's hard enough as 1 player. I could only imagine with 4. But it's one of those games where you can actually have 4 different players. I think that would be pretty interesting. Within this game, if you fall asleep, you get certain abilities as you collect them through the levels. Kind of like the idea of A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors. You get one where you can throw a javelin, which has nothing to do with anything in that movie, but the idea is there. Another one, you could be a ninja. So you're dressed up in a black garment and you throw shurikens. And that was from the 5th one, I want to believe. Yes, it was from the 5th one. Not really a highly regarded entry in the series, but nevertheless, they borrow from the 3rd and the 5th, I believe. And this, no, I was wrong. That's the Dream Child. The 4th one is the Dream Master. That is the one where the ninja is from. Shame on me. I brought shame to the House of Fun and Video Games. But anyway, the ninja's from that. You can also be a wizard, which is in the 3rd one. And I think that's the only ones you can do. Yeah, and then your fist. So, hey, with that being said, imagine all those characters at once attacking the boss, or just in general. I know the difficulty gets ramped up. I've noticed within this game that I've played it so many times that if you do really well, the game really punishes you. I don't know if it's just me being me and thinking that, but this game really punishes you. Like, I'll do really good. I will get through to the, I want to say it's to the second to last boss. And if I have gone through without dying, which I'm not trying to do a speed run or no death, a no hit run. It's not really an interest of mine. Just having fun and kind of explaining my experiences with the game and showing the difficulties and the good and the bad, the ugly, whatever, in a very non-linear way. The game really punishes you. It really does. I think around that level is if you haven't lost a life. I could be wrong. You start to really feel the pain with these enemies. And in order to use any of those abilities, like I said before, you need to fall asleep. So there's a sleep meter. It goes up and down, depending on if you get yourself a cup of coffee or you lose a life. It will stay, I think, at the same if you get hit or if you stand still. This thing just drains. You just fall asleep. I guess somebody forgot their sleep medicine. I don't know. Or their stay awake medicine or whatever that is. If you've seen the movies, you know what I'm talking about. But in order to get out of the dream world, because that's the only world you can actually use these abilities, and otherwise it's just you, your fist, and that funny looking run. In order to get out of it, you have to find radios throughout the stages. They will wake you up with a really bitchin' tune. And when you fall asleep, same thing, awesome tune as well. But if you stay in the dream world too long, the man himself comes for your ass. He does. And is he extremely difficult? Once you get the beat on him, got a good pattern on him, not really. But anyway, that's another good part about this. And after you beat him, you can still stay in the dream world. I would think, if I remember correctly, because I haven't stayed in it too long, other than the boss fights. If you stay in it too long, I bet you it does the same thing as if you don't lose lives or you're doing really well. The game punishes you. Shame on you for doing good, I suppose. So we're going to check this out today. I think that I've done enough talking about it. Let's get in and play some Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm sorry, A Nightmare on Elm Street. Let's get it. So what I could do is use the cartridge from my complete in box copy. I do have a loose copy, but as you can see, it has seen better days. I think the inside of it's fine, so we're gonna give it a try and see if we can get it rocking and rolling. All right. Oop. Let's go. Hope for the best. Let's rock and roll. Super pumped about that, and let's get down to business. So what we see on the screen, hopefully right now, will be the title screen. And it is Freddy Krueger holding the knives out, holding his glove out. And it's funny, this has been pointed out in a bunch of different videos, but the knives, are they knives or are they fingernails? It's questionable. I mean, on the third one, it kind of looks like it's part of his glove, but the glove's missing, but then it's his hand switched top. I don't know, it's confusing, but anyway. Great title screen, great music. Here's where we can choose between 4 different players. If I had it rocking and rolling, we'd be able to do so, but I'm not going to do 2-player. I don't have anybody else here. Hello, anybody want to play Nightmare on Elm Street? Good, because we probably wouldn't get through the first boss. We'll play as 1 player. Let's get rocking and rolling. So here is our first screen. Oh, look at that. You probably can see what I'm trying to do here. Can't enter the house. This is the most aggravating part of the game, other than, you know, the cheap hits and everything like that. Again, I can't stress this enough with this game. It's all about timing, just like with most of these games. Specifically this one, we're going to try to go into this one. This is what happened to us the last time. These houses, in the order, the first 3 took a hit. It's fine. These houses are not always going to be in the correct order that they were before. That's another hit. That's not good. So we're going to try this one. And I got nothing. Hello? Anybody want to let me in? This will be very aggravating for players just starting this out. two ways to get by that: jump in the middle or try to jump the whole way over. You have to time it right. You can't stress timing out enough. So we're gonna go back to this. I'm gonna hit him just because. See if that sometimes works. It's really hard to explain, but these are the first 3 houses you're going to go to. There's no point of running across the whole map, or the whole street rather, the whole level. One of these houses should be the one, so we're going to check this out. And it looks like we're good to go, so we're in our first house. Bones. Gotta get them. Right down below on the right hand side, you will see as I try to avoid the spider, there's an ability. Am I gonna go grab it? No, because it's too much of a risk for, again, that's a timing thing. I'm gonna be very sporadic on this, so hopefully I'm recording. Am I recording? I'm recording good. With that, you want to pick and choose your battles. I could have not jumped, but on one part of one level, you do have to jump. I took a hit there, it's fine. We've got one more hit to go. And then unfortunately we'll go into the dream world. Great sequence, but I don't have any abilities. It doesn't do anything. The bosses get, or the enemies rather, get extremely hard and can take multiple hits as opposed to the regular world. So we're going to try to get out of it as much as possible. I love that sound when you're going from level to level. It's great. So we got some Cyclops going on here. He takes a number of hits. I could sit here and punch this guy all day long. I don't think he's going to die because we're in the dream world. Oh, he does. He takes like 5 hits though. In the normal world, it wouldn't take that many. So here we go with that great tune. There was the radio right on the bottom. This wakes you up and keeps Freddy away from entering in the dream world. So, again, we have to make sure that our time is correct. There's a rat. Nice to see you. You know, I think the other one that was in the other level, I haven't seen it yet. I'm getting my videos mixed up now. Which one I just did according to this. I think everything. There's a dog, wolf. But we got all the bones. Let's get rocking and rolling. This is where you enter the dream world, so you're awake but you're asleep. So Freddy, Love, Elementary Balls. Plenty of jokes to be made there, but we're just going to try to whoop this guy's buns. I think we'll be successful. Once he gets hit enough times, he will do that. He will entice you to come out to get him. Don't worry, he'll come back. You have to try to stay as far away from him as possible, because it is easy to lose some lives. Now, every time that you beat a boss, you get an extra life. The most I've been able to get to, I think, is 8 or 9. I think that's where it caps you off. Get the key. Let's go. So you can spend time trying to beat every one of these little enemies. I don't. I pretty much have the timing down. If I'm not doing 2 things at once like I am right now, I get through without getting hit for the most part. I tried to go into this house unsuccessfully. Remember, patience is the key here. Maybe that was the rat. Was that the rat? Yeah, that was the rat, but there's another one further in. Maybe it's when you're asleep, I don't know. Wait, this is another one right here. You can do this, you do this. Again, it's just timing. You gotta hit the right part of the door sometimes. And here we go on to the second house. Am I gonna hit that bat? Not right now. He may cause me some problems down the line. I could go for that for points again. I'm not going to. I've decided to do the top and then go up the stairs and get the rest of it. Now with this one, see how I did that? If you hit him just right at the right time, you can avoid getting hit and going through him. Very crucial for where you're going to go to next. Oh, see, I was peeking out there. Again, if you're just a second off, it will not do good. Stop, punch, go up the stairs, call it a day. Excellent. Now we're getting our groove in. Alright, now with this, it's all about timing. Now I could have hit him and spent the time to do that, maybe get that down there for some points. Again, I'm not going to. I'm choosing to go above because it's easier for me, because I know exactly the spot I need to sit in. This right here, if you don't time it right, you will get hit by that guy and lose an unnecessary life. There we go, bada bing, bada boom. We've got our bones and we're already at them. That didn't take long at all. So, in this incarnation of Freddy, he will, I went too close. See? He tricks you. He'll spit out some tons. I don't really do a good job of hitting the tons when they're jumping around like that. But it's alright. You try to do something like that. And, I mean, that was pretty good. So, let's get the key. Get back into the real world here. And I think for this one we have to go back to the second house. again, you can see the hit there. It's all about timing. Can I just say, I can't stress this enough. This game has an amazing soundtrack, and there we go. I dropped the controller because I guess I had to. Again, timing is everything. I shouldn't have gotten that bone. Not that I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have had that opportunity to. So I kind of timed that a little unfortunate. And that could have been bad for me. Right there. See? And I'll jump over. I know I won't get that bone. They don't have the reach. But I will go after it. Again, here comes these drippy things. You can punch the drippy things. I think this should be blood, but it's about to call them as blood. I don't know. This is definitely a very frustrating part. Now, see how I got that bone right over here? I'm just trying to get some of these bats and flies to cooperate with my time and what I want. So there we go. With certain things like that, if you were in the dream world trying to do this, there is the ninja. Oh, here comes the sporadicness. So what I was trying to say, as I paused for a sec, is that jump where I showed you where the bone was. If you're in the dream mode trying to do it with one of the characters other than the normal one without the abilities, you will fall, or you actually won't be able to get that bone no matter how close it seems to be. A little tip to remember as the later levels go down. Again, I'm not going for that. That's unfortunate. I'm just going to try to rush it now. Kind of messed up there, but again, this is all trial and error, and if I killed him, I wouldn't have had that problem. I just had to get hit by him more than once. I'm really trying not to lose any lives here, but you know, what are you going to do? You can only do what you can do. So again, I'm going to go for the top, go for the bottom, jump on this. Now what I should do is hit him, but I'm not going to. See how fast that bat comes out? Wild. The game is like, you are doing good, you need to be punished. And I'm going to punch this rat. If you have him close enough to the edge of the screen, as we get the last special ability, which is the wizard ability. Is that a wizard? I don't know how I didn't get hit there. This is where I normally take my first real hit, is that damn snake. Usually he takes more than one hit. So right here, this is again a timing thing. I could rush through this, but I don't want to get another hit. So we're going to enter in our third boss fight. Out of all these abilities we have, now we have the wizard, or whatever you want to call him. Now I've beaten him, I think, as I take it down. I've beaten him with everything. I think I even beat him with the fist before, but it's really difficult. And it takes a lot of hits to get him. But this one's great because you can kick and throw the star right after, so you can actually get 2 hits off of him, and he will eventually get a lot faster. And I think the speed's going to start coming. I took a hit there, that's fine. But I've been able to hit, and then throw a star. Like I said, it's all about timing. I'm not doing the best here, but I know we'll be able to get through this. I don't know if I'm going to play this to the very end, but I may. And we got the key. Let's get out of it. So now, this is where most people will get a little confused as to where do I go? Well, this has a pretty linear set of directions for right now and until the end of the game. So the first 3 houses are the ones that people get most confused with. After this, it's pretty set in stone where you should go. So, and I timed that wrong. So where are we going to go? We're going to go to Elm Street High. Spoiler alert, that's the last level. We will not be going there. I just missed that little rock. Pretty intense. These things, if you don't jump right before you hit them, they will come up on you. This is the house most people think is the first one to go into. No, that's the last house, the last level before the high school. So, again, timing with these rocks is imperative. Everybody tries to go over to that cemetery first. Cemetery is a great level, it's a cool level, but that is not the case. So, what do we got going on here? Again, remember with these knives coming out, you have to time it. Don't bother with the bat, jump right into the junkyard. This is your first real challenge of the game. It's not extremely challenging for me. Like I said, I play this fairly often. So you got to keep a good eye out for these bones, because in this level they actually camouflage pretty well. If you see that, you can time things just right, where you don't have the problem here. Now, see that bat there? I'm going to take care of him right now. I could wait, but if you wait on him, you're going to run into the bed, and then you're going to fall and get hurt. Don't get too close to this guy, close enough. Again, gave him the punch. I was risking it right there, and I did, and I'm okay with that. See if that throw off my timing for the rest of this. So this isn't really about speed. I'm not trying to do a speed run here, but wow, I don't know how I just avoided all that. All I want to do is get rid of this bat. Now, if you hit him right before he's gonna drop it, you're gonna get hit, just like I did there, and that's all right. It'll throw off the timing for a sec, but I get it back pretty quick. So no one's hurt. Although, up until that last stage, I've gone through without getting hit and losing a life, which is pretty impressive. But believe you me, if you go through without getting hit and losing a life up to this point, these enemies are going to get super strong. Again, making the right decisions on whether to kill certain enemies or not at the right time. We're going to get that just for points. And then this thing right here, this is a good place if you didn't stop and think. Like my timing was off. I was going to wait for him, but I decided not to. So, got another one for points. I'm not going to go for that. I'm just going to let it go. We are at another boss. This one is going to be a bat. I don't remember in any of the movies if it was, in fact, a bat form that Kruger takes. I don't think there is. But, then again, there wasn't a glove one either, technically. Well, no, but in the later movies, I want to say it was maybe where it was just the glove. The glove came off. I don't remember. Was there a movie where that was like that? I've got a good beat on this guy right now. Not too bad. As the health starts to deplete, you really got to pay attention. And that's where I took my first hit, which isn't bad, all things considering. Not bad. So we're able to do that. And let's get to the key. Time to go back. So where we're going to go now. Again, this is going to be the same for every one of your playthroughs. If it's different, let me know, of course. I've never seen any difference of it. And I put in a lot of effort and time into this game. So, I'm going to go to the cemetery. One of my favorite levels. Just like the music. Excellent soundtrack. Can't stress enough. I'll say that a million times. This is unfiltered. Ooh, it was close. Now, see, what I can normally do there, when I just let myself go, is I can punch. On that particular part of this game, I don't know, timing thing or whatever, I have not been able to get that to work. Or maybe it's because you're descending as opposed to going up, or as opposed to ascending. I don't know. You gotta time this just right. Those bubbles don't last forever when you jump on them, just to let you know. So, a little off from the timing there. Could have paid the price and go right to the edge. Should I hit that bug? I probably should have. And you have to get off that bubble as soon as possible. If I jumped right there, I would have gotten hit by the rock, hit by the Frankenstein monster looking thing, and then hit by the bat. So that's 3 hits. That's a good way to lose a life. Again, timing things just right is what's imperative about this game. I didn't have to hit him. That was probably not the best decision because I threw off my timing. Which right here could be crucial because that's another life lost. You can lose an awful amount of lives in this level. See how the fly goes a little bit quicker? Okay, we've got all the bones now. And we'll just get that for points. And we'll get that for points as well. It doesn't actually offer you points after you've already had them. So we're going to go with the ninja ability now. Again, see that? That is what I'm talking about right there, the timing. If I could time it just right, I can hit him twice. If I've timed it just right in the past, which is very difficult to do, I can actually hit him 3 times. Twice with the kicks. Lose another life, but it is what it is. What was I saying? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I have timed I've timed it where I can hit him by doing this, and then hitting him with the star. I think it was actually this specific boss too. But we're starting to get fast here. Gotta concentrate. As my young boy is going wild, probably with his dinosaur. But he's having a good time out there. I don't know if you hear that, but I hear that. And we are good. We get another key. Awesome. Back to reality. I'm not going to say the rest of that. That is from a specific song because let's go over some time that wrong. Let's go over some things of the past. So I'll pause this for a second. When I did the Friday the 13th theme music like we all do with, you know, our voices, like that really enjoy the series, like trying to mimic the song, YouTube actually came to me and said that is claimed music, claimed audio that you cannot use. And I thought about it for a second. I was like, but I did that. I'm not actually doing it the way it should. The way we pronunciate it is not correct to the way it's actually written and composed. And that part's not composed with an instrument, but the way it's mixed, I don't know what you want to call it, but it's actually different. Where it's, you know, you go, I can't even do it because it's gonna hit me again. But a lot of my intros in the beginning were hit because of that and some other thing. But that's one of the things that, you know, they kind of said, hey, you gotta address this, and I was like, I was doing it with my mouth. That's not using a sound clip, but I guess I'm close enough that I mimicked it. So brownie points for me. I don't know. Let's get back into it, and let's go into the final house before we hit the what was I going to say? Before we hit the Elm Street High. Again, this is going to start to get really difficult here. Now, I've learned my lesson with this. I've tried to chase that guy and tried to hit him, but unfortunately, it doesn't work. So even if you let him go off the screen, he's going to come back out of nowhere. You'll reset the way he's jumping, and it won't be beneficial to you. Where some games like Ninja Gaiden, that actually works. This does not work in this game, where it benefits you. See, the bats will start to respawn. That's a tough decision to make there. I almost made that. See, this is where you got to make your choices and stick with them, because I questioned what I was doing there. Almost got hit again. It's about saving that continues to the end. Now that right there will show you the first time that the screen actually stops when you're moving. I know I typically go for the top, but I'm going to go for the bottom here. And I'll kind of tell you why in a sec after I figure this out. And I just screwed myself. Oh my goodness. I actually made that. I shouldn't have made that without getting hit twice, but I did. I hit him once. And another try, that will happen, and that's not the case. And I made the mistake. See, I did not stick with my gut, and I ended up in the dream world, which is fine. At this point in time, I'll be stuck in here, I think, for a little bit. I don't think there's another radio. I don't think there's a radio on this level. I could be wrong, but when you stick here too long, oh, it's the end of the level. It doesn't really matter. But right there, I think I just took at least one hit. Hey, they got the red right. In the later levels, you'll see they got the red, because it's blood. Now maybe I could show you what happens when you, I'm going to use the wizard, why not? Or whatever you would call him. I'm sure somebody has the correct name for it. I think I can look at the instructions before I did this, but again, we're just having fun. Now, that's good to know right there. So those guys right there, those red guys, they will not die no matter how many times I hit them, simply because it's the dream world. If I smack him against the wall and do that, that's when he will actually die. So, again, these guys are going to be a little difficult. I should have been able to make that jump, but for whatever reason you can't. I can hit the blood. I mean, that's cool. So we'll grab these 2 bones here. We got 3 more left on the counter. Which is good. This is one of those things. No matter how close you get to this, I don't want to do it because I don't want to get hit. No matter who you choose, especially this one, you cannot hit it. So you have to go back to your original form and jump and hope for the best. So I'm going to do that. And usually that's a part where I don't make, and I usually get killed the second before that. So It is what it is. See how I got him to the end? And he actually died, which is good. So, this one, I don't know why that happened. I might have just hit him right when he was turning. Again, hit him. And that should be how it goes. You should be able to get bones no matter how close, because that's the same thing as this. Now, this right here, if you don't do that right, you could actually fall down into a pit and die. Like between this, you have to go all the way over to the left. And you have to go all the way over to the left when you're jumping. Nope. And you have to be careful with that. This is where Freddy will be coming. If you stay in the world too long, you will have to face him over and over and over again. I didn't really have to. I don't really usually have to jump at all. I'm just kind of doing it just to do it at this point. Again, if you get a beat on him, you can usually get him to jump and then just hit him. Goodbye, Freddy. Now, it will stop you right at the place that you were at. So if you are mid-air like this, and you don't time it right, you will lose a life. I'm going to go ahead and get the radio. Let's hear some tunes, because it gets way too difficult being in the dream mode at this point in time. I think the last level you eventually just don't have any choice because there's no radios, but I forget. But again, now me knowing that, I should have went down and got that bone. I kind of threw this off a little bit, but it's fine. I threw off the rhythm of the enemies, which will unfortunately make me pay right here. Pull this off. Nope. See, and that could have been a life lost right there, which we're trying to avoid at this point. I don't have any continues on this run, which is great. I forgot I didn't have to go down there this time, but I will have to the next time. So, for the next section of this level, you have to go down here. Again, another easy place to misinterpret timing. Right there. See how I almost fell through? You gotta do it just right. If you don't, you will pay the price. Now that one, again, it's another red one, but I'm in the dream mode. So how does that work? Or I'm in the awake world, or in the dream world? I don't know. Again, I timed that wrong. That's unfortunate. I'm kind of expecting to continue at least once before Elm Street High, which is not really what I want. But once I lose a life, I get a little irritated and try to rush through this. Word of advice: don't rush through this. So what do we got here? Okay. I missed the jump because I wasn't paying attention. It's all good. I'm not going to try to hit him. I'm going to try to run wild here. Believe you me, the difficulty is about to get real hard. I didn't have to get that. Again, you have to make good choices. If you don't, you will pay the price. Now, if I went a little bit more forward on that, it wouldn't have worked out in my favor. The color scheme of some of these enemies, just kind of questionable. I almost forgot. We have to go through that again. Another place where you can get caught up. I had to do the quick punch, left, right turn, go back into normal stage. I'm just gonna punch this because I don't like these things. They're extremely aggravating. It will never lose a life. But here again, timing is everything. I shouldn't have made that hit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I shouldn't have made that hit. And I should have probably went up, because this is where we're gonna run into some trouble. I should have been hit more than once there, but I still did it. I usually just go to the top and then run back and revert back to the other way. Now, we're not going to go under for here. We'll have to eventually at the next part of the stage. Now, I could punch him and get through to him, but I'm not going to. I might punch this one. Now, here's where the fun really begins. Why isn't that back coming for me? Oh, don't worry. He will. But just not in the normal way that we've seen in the past. They just kind of stay up there. This will cause the game some slowdown, so just keep that in mind. And if you do that, here's one of those places where you keep hitting your head. You have to time this just right. And wait over here, do some punches, and then we'll go up. Now, this is where I'm going to get hit regardless. I knew that was going to happen. We still got one life before the first continues. Not bad. Doing pretty good. And look at that. Another bone you may forget. Right there. this becomes kind of a pain. At least you don't have to worry about timing it to get away from the bat sanders. So try to punch him a little bit, see if you can time it out just right, because if you don't hit this just right, you will die and die and die, and then your lives will be all gone, and it continues all gone. In this fight, it's the last one before the last level. So you got the head, and you got the glove. And he shoots out blood. That's what we're going to call it. Although it looks like he might be taking little shits. That's certainly not the case. I think I've made it where the glove dies, the glove is defeated last, but not very often. So there's our first continue, it's fine. We've got another one after that, and it should be good to go. Wow, it's too bad. Come on. 10, timing. Timing is everything. So now we know the fight is on. He's going to start going really fast. Now see, we did pretty good there. Not bad. Not bad. So we'll take it. Now, this is the one thing I always forget, usually. You gotta go to the left to get to Elm Street High, not to the right. You would think it was to the right for whatever reason, at least I do, so. We could sit here, beat up some enemies. Animals? No, don't beat up animals, that's savage. Into the Elm Street School we go. Here's a part that will prove to be extremely aggravating. I've done this once without doing this method, but unfortunately I'm not willing to, and that's a life. Every life is necessary at this point, so every life that you lose is unfortunate. There's a way to do this, but I can't do it unless I'm in the dream world for the most part. So we're gonna let this kind of die down. As you sit still, remember, get hit, whatever, your energy for your awake state starts to dwindle down. You need to be in the dream world to make this and do it as the wizard. I've done it as this twice, and if I've gotten this far and I don't want this video to be a complete waste, I'm not going to risk it for the biscuit. It's just not happening. So we're going to go into the sleep world. We're going to fall asleep, and we're going to use the wizard, and we're going to make that jump with no problem. If you can do it without this, let me know. It's very difficult. I've only done it twice, and I played this game an awful lot, so tip from you boy. Alright, there we go. Timing is everything. I will keep repeating that. And there's another part where we will have to use this. Remember, in the dream state, we will we'll have these. I mean, look at all these things that are on the screen at once. My God. Okay. So we're gonna smack him around, and I think this is another one where I almost made a mistake. You actually have to go here, and I always use the wizard and lost an unnecessary life because I didn't time it right. Okay, so we're gonna have to trick him out. Take a hit again. This is where mistakes are gonna start to be made. It is what it is though, and I should have just kept hitting him. Again, that's a non-red skeleton. Should have been able to get him though. I wasn't able to. So this is another thing. Timing. I might actually. Well, I almost didn't make that. Don't get too confident in yourself. You will pay the price. So I'm gonna take him out real quick. The skeleton of the. Once you do that, I'm just gonna try to hit it because I don't like those spiked little dead spike things. They're very aggravating. Wow. Again, getting real lucky here, rolling the dice. So I could have just jumped. Remember, when you jump too high, the screen will stop working. And remember, there's a point in time where that music queuing up. You have to be in the right place at the right time when you go for your mini battle with Freddy. Because if not, you are going to be a very sad customer. As I may end up being. Like right there, that could have cost me a life because of the way I landed. I should have stayed still and let the counter run out. And sometimes if you hit him at a certain animation, it's just like with all of them, all the enemies in the game. Sometimes the projectiles just go right through them. Very aggravating. See how I'm not really jumping much? Kind of messed up there. Off he goes. And I bit the dust. Again, choosing the right... what was I saying now? I forgot. Now I'm getting confused. Choosing the right ability is important. And this is close. I think this might be the final part of the stage. So let's soak this in. We've done pretty well in a pretty quick amount of time. So I'm pretty proud of this. I'm pretty happy with this run. Not a bad one. Not my best, but I think we're going to be having a lot of fun. And I can't wait to get into the comments about this and how I did and what you may do differently, or if you see something differently. I'm just curious. And we're going to hit the radio. I don't want to face Freddy again because he gets more difficult. We're at 2 lives. We've got 1 continued to spare, but we're going to need every single one of those. Now, as you get to this part of the game, the enemies are going to start to get more difficult. It's just the way it is, as I've said before. This one right here, didn't time that right. You've got to time this jump just right. Usually I don't. That's one that I have to keep going after, back and forth. But I didn't have to that time. I would suggest staying awake, but some people prefer to stay in the dream world. I don't, especially not in this part where I'm trying to save every life that I can. Okay, so we're gonna have to make this. See, it's all about timing, timing. It's gonna drive you nuts. Here we go, right here. I could choose not to. Oh wow, I'm surprised I actually hit 2 of them at once. Usually the game says not for that time. We're going to go for this top one here. Again, got to get rid of him. I almost forgot about that. Oh, see, now they start to increase their speed, and that's what's going to throw you off. Even me telling you how many times I've played this, that throws you off because the game just speeds up. So, definitely, I wouldn't say a flaw. It kind of was unexpected, but kind of something I wish was a little different. See, now it's going to be even a little difficult to avoid that, but we were able to do it, and we lost 1 bone. Oh, I knew I was going to do that. And we hit our final continue, so this is where we're going to be sweating bullets, folks. I got to figure out where I forgot that last bone. See how quick that happens? I don't think I can make this jump. Oh, no, I did. Okay. But now I will have to figure this out, because I don't remember where I missed that bone. That's a hard loss. That is what it is. We'll find out where we missed it. This is unfortunate, but we gotta backtrack. So, where did I miss that bone? No idea. That's why. See? No matter how many times you play this game, you will mess up. I'm gonna punch those spikes because I hate them. Or Freddy's glove knives. I hate them. They land at the wrong time right now. Again, by me going back, that kind of takes away a little bit from the sleep meter. Not too bad because I'm not getting hit currently, but yep. Tough pill to swallow. And again, this is all going to be timing right now. I have to make sure that I hit everyone just right. And this is the final part before the final slew of bosses. And what is that, you ask? Oh. It's every boss you have fought just now. So see the issues that we've had before? You hit that wrong, you're going to lose a life. That's why I'm going to kind of take my time with that. Try to think about what I'm doing here. 13 bones to grab, now 12. I don't care what you say. Sometimes the timing on those drips, they want you to lose. The game wants to beat you at this point. It's going, how did you get this far? Well, and we go another life. We have to be very careful now. We're on our last continue, I believe. We're in the dream stage now. It's fine. It landed at the right time. Remember, there'll be some bones around here you won't be able to get unless you're your original non-form. And look at that. You see that right on the bottom left? I'll give you a clue. That's where we're going to end up going. So we're going to leave 3 bones. Now, why did I do that? Because... by accident. I left that because now I'll know if I get to all the way at the end. 3 bones left. They're the 3 bones that we just walked by. But if you don't do that, I've made the mistake of missing one down here. And again, it's really just trying to keep your time straight. You have to keep an eye out for the Freddy meter, though. If it lands at the wrong time, you are going to pay. I couldn't be more... Oh, that's a good way to die right there. So you saw that right there. That's a cheap death, but welcome to this game. Alright, we're going to smack him. We're going to get rid of him. He's going to prove to be a problem. Alright, we're going to do the same here. Alright, 3 bones to go. Now this is where we have to be very cautious, because that's going to happen. I'm now on 2 lives. I don't know if I have another continue or not. That's a very good question. That could be a Turtles moment right there. The first Ninja Turtles, where you can't jump over a certain thing no matter how many times you try, and you just simply walk over the empty space. It could be one of those. I forget if it is or not. Again, see how close I am to the edge? You gotta be. Because those bits. And there's no waking up at this point, so you just gotta make sure that you're in the right place at the right time. Otherwise you're gonna pay. Not just getting in the battle with Freddy, but lose another life. Because you were in the wrong place when you fell asleep. Very close right there. Easy place to lose an unnecessary life. I thought I had that one, but here we go. See? That's what I was talking about. You gotta be prepared. We're gonna jump. We want to get through this quick now. We've certainly taken our time, but I think we're getting through this pretty quick. I'm just using the wizard because I actually have the most fun with him in regards to beating the bosses. So I think we're gonna use the wizard one for this. Again, it has that slow drop, so it kind of helps. So 3, 2, fire's gone. Get ready to rock and roll. Time to beat some buns. Again, I'll use the wizard one. I don't know if there's a difference, but I think it does. I think he takes more damage in at least these forms. So in this part, this is the last part, you've got to get through every one of these bosses. And if I don't have that extra continue that I don't believe I have, you got to beat them. You just got to beat them. That's it. So we're going to do this. First attempt that we're really trying this. Again, the ton one, they all go in order so you know what you're facing. Got 1 life left. That's unfortunate. I don't know if we'll be able to do this. Oh, starting to sweat now. Starting to feel the hand sweating. Oh boy. Alright, we got through them. Again, we're going to switch to a new form now because this is going to be the bouncing glove. Let's get through them. Let's do this. Again, I was a little off on my timing there. Because it's a little, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but with this, the way the level looks compared to the way it was when you were facing these bosses originally, kind of throws off your algorithm a little bit, or your, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I'm trying to get through the game! Throws off the timing. That's what I was trying to say. Timing! Okay? Bat. Let's see if we can do it. We got 1 life to live. Can we do it? I think we can. I think we got this in the back here. Let's see what we can do here. Come on, come on. I hope I have that extra continue. I don't know if I do, but I'm about to find out. I think 1 more hit and it's game over. Yep, let's see if it's game over. Oh, glad I saved those continues. That's why I said it's important to get timing down. If you don't have that extra continue, and you start messing up at the end, which is very possible, you will have gotten this far and then be done. Rough. Okay? Another form, I believe it's the ghost form. Let's get through them. Come on, come on. We got this rhythm down now. At this point, you should have this down. This isn't too difficult, but remember the familiarness of the other level designs will kind of throw you off. It does for me a little bit. They don't act any differently unless you, again, get here without losing any lives or getting hit really at all. Like, these guys will be super fast, even faster than when their life gets down halfway. Here we go. 2 more to go. The 2 forms of Freddy. Time to kick some ass. Or just get hit by both of them at the same time. time. Oh, God. Awful. Come on, come on. You're not getting me this time, Freddy. 4 lives. We gotta do this. Alright. Glove is down. Just the head spitting out the blood. He's about to be toast. He's got 3 parts of his life, though, so... I don't know. Let's see. Oh, I timed it wrong. Let's try to time this so we can get the 2 hits. I'm being selfish now. Oh, there we go. Alright. Switching to the wizard. Uh-oh. This is where it begins. Time to kill him. Come on, Freddy. Enough is enough. I have 4 lives, but stranger things have happened. It is time to put him to rest. That's how it happened once. I mistimed that almost exact moment. And that was game over. Come on. Oh, let's go. Put those bones in that furnace. I just whooped Freddy's ass. Let's go. Oh, yeah. When I did that for the first time, wonderful thing. So the evil is purged. Fire purifies all. The bones are ashes, soon to be dust. Freddy TM, I hate that they do that, is dead. And the nightmare is ended. Or has it? Well, that's it. We did it. Let's go. Let's get to the wrap up. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you made it to this far in the video. I know it's a long one, but we're having some fun. With every one of these Let's Plays, or Let's Play Some Video Games, whatever I decide to call it, they will be an unspecified length of time. I go off the rails completely. By the way, like the shirt? It's awesome. It goes fitting for this Let's Play Some Video Games title, right? So, what are my final thoughts on A Nightmare on Elm Street? Well, that never does it justice, so at some point in time you're going to see some extra close-up video of the game, the manual, and of course some of my other collectibles from the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Somewhere above here. I don't know exactly where, so let's get to my final thoughts. I think it is a flawed game. Like most games can be at this time. Spelling is never really a strong point, as you can clearly see by the ending screen. The controls are pretty solid. Most people, I've heard both sides of the spectrum on that. But I will tell you this. In my opinion, after playing just about anything for a long period of time, you'll be able to get used to it. And I gotta take out the manual actually, because I wanted to go over a few things. I'm going to show that here as well. The manual does in fact, beyond a shadow of a doubt, answer a few unanswered questions during our session. Those tokens that we saw that I thought gave us points but only gave us points the first time we get them, they are called the Dream Warriors. So the ninja, as I so called it, was the Shadow Warrior. And then the part where you lose your pants and you're kind of running around with no pants is the acrobat. And then what I called was the wizard is actually the necromancer. I'm probably saying that wrong. I believe that is the correct term for it. I believe wizard is a trademark term, along with ninja obviously being a trademark term. And as we go deeper down, they're called Dream Warrior icons, which is cool. The radio and the coffee, pretty self-explanatory. And then the other enemies, the one we said was the Frankenstein's monster, is called the Shambler. Okay, and then the another one of the animals or enemies on the screen were the Night Prowler. There's the Hound, so kind of looks like the werewolf, but I guess it's a hound. The skeleton was called the Skelos. The bat was called the Deathwing. The other animals that I thought was the Cyclops is actually called a Boggle, and if you look at it real close and wherever I decide to put it, it has 2 horns, so it kind of looks like a little devil. Very fitting for this very tough game. And of course, Freddy with the trademark, of course, after it, because, you know, we're never going to get off that. That's been talked about a lot. That's just an unfortunate thing that they had to do at the time. At least they got the game out. There's some games that never get out. So we should be pleased and just take that hit on the chin. And, of course, in quotations, it's who else with the question marks. So that answers the questions about the game. It did not go over the... It did not go over the... I forget, I lost my train of thought, but they call them the Elm Street Teens. So I guess there's a picture on here, and I didn't show this on this close-up here, but there's a picture on here of a guy and a girl. I don't remember ever controlling a girl. Maybe it was the change of color, but they all look the same, whether you're 2 players or 4 players. So, interesting. They don't have any names. They're just ordinary teenagers, I suppose. And then, of course, it goes into much more detail in regards to going into the dream state in the dream world. So I'll read a little something from that because I find it funny. If you do end up in the dream world, don't despair. All is not lost. Oh, thanks, Manuel. After all, Freddy, trademark, can't forget that, isn't the only one that could call upon strange powers in this other dimension. Okay. While you're moving around, dodging and fighting for your life, that's an understatement, keep your eyes open for any one of these 3 types of power icons scattered about. Picking up one of these icons will grant the player a power of a dream warrior it corresponds to. You could collect all 3 powers. You will retain the icons you have collected even if you exit the dream world, and they will be there if you fall asleep again. And then it goes into a very specific part that says knowing the best times to use specific dream warriors, or of course your regular world, awake world self. So that manual is actually pretty helpful. It still doesn't tell you what the snakes are called. I didn't see the snakes in there, so we're just going to call them snakes. But let's get back to my original thoughts, because this is time to try to reel in going off the train, because I've had enough time off the train. Off the train tracks. Get back into it. One of my thoughts on the game, it's one of my favorite games to play for the NES. I can understand why most have not made a solid attempt to beat it, because it is very frustrating. It is flawed. And there's just certain parts, if it's no trial and error, you're going to shut that off. Throw your controller, which I highly do not recommend you doing. I can't say I've never done that before. 178 awesome, amazing folks out there. Thank you very much. And I bet you that when you decide to subscribe to the House of Fun and Video Games, you'll be hitting that notification bell as well, because sometimes things just don't come through the feed. It is very difficult to get exposure sometimes. It's not the end of the world. I'm not complaining. It's just, even for me, where I watch people that have thousands, if not millions of subscribers, hundreds, whatever it may be, you don't always get those notifications, so you've got to turn them on. Or otherwise, you won't know the next time I pop up, let's play some video games. Let's go to the thrift to go over some finds and times. Let's go looking at some eBay purchases. Let's make some eBay purchases. Let's then revisit those purchases and see if your boy here got duped. Video game reviews, which, will come when they come. Movie reviews somewhere down the line. I don't know exactly the type of format I want to do that in. There's a lot of great channels out there that cover a lot of this content, a lot of that content that I want to do it my way, the House of Fun and Video Games way. If you haven't already, comment. Let me know what's going on. But there's other ways that we want to be able to communicate, whether it's through our pictures, of our game rooms, of our collection, or whatever it may be. You can also find me on Facebook at Jason's House of Fun and Video Games. You can reach me on Twitter at Jason's House of Fun and Video Games on Twitter. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. I kind of lost myself there. I also include the descriptions of those links in the description of this video and every video that I have. I appreciate you spending the time that you have with me. And that is what it is. That is the end. Finito. Done. Let's close it off. You know how we do it here. This is Jason, Jason's House of Fun and Video Games. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoy your night, the rest of your week. You know the weekend is never too far out of sight, out of mind. The light at the end of the tunnel is there. A day off from work and the madness is there. And what are we going to do? Whatever it is you want to do. I might relax on my next day off. Hope you folks have a wonderful day. Enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. But for now, as the video is over, time to play some more Nightmare on Elm Street. End it the way we should.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game that we say. I need a break. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. Face on when I chase like that. Yeah, I play so strong with a knife in the back of my swing home.